Reg- Regularly scheduled select board meeting to order at 6 PM. Additions to and deletions from the posted agenda. Tom, I believe you mentioned one.
I do have one, if the board would entertain this. It is simply the approval of the municipal note to purchase the new truck that you guys approved 2 weeks ago.
All right, I'll put that under old business.
And I think you'll see there's some information here on the table. Muscoma Bank is the first sheet in that
Yep.
info.
All right, so I have that under old business as note for highway truck. Citizen comments. If there's nothing else to add, does anyone in the audience have a comment? All right, well, seeing none. We'll move on to manager's report.
Just a pretty short report due to my short duration here, but I just wanted to mention that the sidewalk paving was scheduled to begin today, and as far as I know, it did. And that's about all I have to report.
All right. I have no questions. Anyone have any questions?
No.
All right. And does that cover the financial? Is there anything for the financial report? I don't think there was from that I was expecting.
I
Just
have
we,
some questions on the financial report, if I may.
Yeah, please. I think I'll defer to Zoe if I don't know the fast, quick answer.
There's on line 140911000, there's miscellaneous revenue. And is that, I just didn't know what that was.
What number?
It's on 40.
Hold on. So the miscellaneous revenue, are you okay with me answering?
please,
Is the Rockefeller money that came in. David was buying an ambulance, I believe. Or I'd have to look, see if it was the ambulance or for the, I believe it is. And then also there was a truck for Elisha for the highway that was also paid for by the Rockefeller money.
Do we spend all that money? I don't think we did.
Already spent.
All of
But there's still a
it? There's-
remaining.
Yeah, I think it's about 50 grand, I thought.
A little less than that.
Okay, but all right, so 40, but
I'm
still,
thinking 25.
we should spend that somehow.
But we don't have to.
And are those, the remaining funds, are they segregated or are they somehow in this financial report?
So Jill removed them from Rockefeller, allotted 200,000.
Right.
And I don't believe they'd come to the town, the balance of the 200, Zoe might know better. But I
I'm so
believe we just got the allotted amount we asked for. You follow what I'm saying?
Oh, so, yeah, so she did, and I'm doing this from memory, she did whatever David requested. And I'm sorry, I don't have that number in front of me, was a check written to, was it 89,000? I would have to look. And then there was another amount that was for Elisha for the highway as well. And I'm happy to look into that tomorrow and send you guys a more detailed report on that.
So
And then,
the available funds are still available. The town
Okay.
just doesn't have their hands on them.
okay,
Correct, it's not in this, it's not in here.
great. And then I was just wondering, we have, I know you explained in your summary that a lot of the insurance reimbursement had to do with the Lincoln Covered Bridge. And then in the highway budget, there's a fairly significant expense for that. And I wondered if the insurance reimbursement that had to do with the bridge should be reported under revenue for the highway budget, just so that there is.
Sure, no, I hear that, and it's never been the only, and I actually did that for fire last year because David had a concern about that too. He looked like he was really tight in his budget. So I did put a line item in for him, and I can certainly do that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all hitting the bottom line. But if it's easier for people to see that, I can add an income line It's just that highway doesn't have, don't know that it has an income.
I didn't see one. I
Yeah,
looked.
so it just goes under miscellaneous. I mean, I don't want to, we could do it for every department, you know, essentially, and I don't want to do that. It's always been more simplified. I would leave that up to Tom to decide if he, or you guys to decide if you want one.
I think some will depend on how we go forward, how the finance committee
Yeah.
decides to go forward with budgeting.
Well, one thing, if I may, any actual revenue goes into the general fund. It doesn't go back to highway, if you
Mhm.
will. So, while putting it in the highway, you know, as a line item shows the offset, but
Right.
the money really doesn't go to their budget.
But it gives a truer picture of the budget.
Right.
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
And then my only
Unless
other
you think you're counting
question,
for it twice.
No, just account for it once, put it in one bucket.
right,
Right.
you deduct it from miscellaneous and put it somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then my only other note was I would love to get a report on fund balances. To my knowledge, we have a town hall renovation fund, we have an ARPA fund. the
Oh,
public
sure.
art,
Yep,
You know, and
I
I just
can,
want to-
happy to do that.
We should be seeing that, maybe not monthly, but at least maybe.
No, and just so everybody's aware, this line item report that you're getting has never been given to the select board until the last 6 months or so, 8 months. It's always been a summary. What we spoke about a year ago was that summary would be given to the select board. And then this line item report would come every quarter. And so maybe you would like to think about that, or let me know if we'd like to go back to that. I mean, this is a lot of paper and a lot of detail every report, but certainly up to you guys.
I think what you are saying with a quarterly is what Tyler had recommended during the audit.
Yeah, this is
that
what
correct?
you would get quarterly.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, I'm fine with that. Considering it was a recommendation of the auditors.
Oh, I guess I would like to add to that we get a fund balance. of
For sure.
Yeah,
The other funds.
that makes sense.
That's all I have.
Okay, sounds good. Brings us to old business. So 4th of July fireworks is essentially, you know, pretty well planned. We have a band set up or lined up, tent, bathrooms and whatnot. Cian had suggested that she has a letter that she can provide us as a template to mail out to businesses to look for donations. So once I have that, I'll polish it up and distribute it so we can send it out.
Right. We had have we paid for any of the 4th of July?
We've received a few invoices from the band, from the Union Arena.
Because the number that we were saving that, we're gonna carry over as
Into the,
into
right,
next year's budget.
Yeah,
It's
so we can-
over budget now, so we've paid for some of these things already.
We actually had, I'm sorry, do you mind if I talk?
please.
We had to pay a down payment to Atlas Fireworks, and that's supposed to be done, I want to say by April 30th. Every year, they're supposed to have a down payment for the fireworks.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that this wasn't money that was spent, invoices that were paid from last 4th of July.
No, this year,
We didn't
Yeah,
have any,
fine, yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
as far as I know, yep. So that was just all I wanted to bring up on 4th of July. Fireworks, that brings us to note for highway truck. And so I think we all have this Mascoma Bank and some additional details. So Tom, do you want to take?
Sure. At the last select board meeting, the town select board approved the purchase of a new truck in the amount of, 170, it's actually $175,085. And you'll see that we went out to bid, got 2 bids on financing that. One is from Mascoma Bank with a fixed rate of 3.05%. And the other one is actually through the people that, I think it's through the people that actually sell this truck. And their interest rate is 5.38%. So recommend that the select board approve the Mascoma note, and we'll execute that and move forward.
I'll make the motion to accept the Mascoma Bank's loan.
Okay,
Second,
motion by Ray, second by Susan to accept the Mascoma Bank note 175,085 being the balance and 3.05% fixed. If there's no discussion, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion, no opposed, motion carries 4-0 with 1 absence. That brings us to new business petition to reduce speed limit on Happy Valley Road from 35 to 25. Two Rivers did do a survey. Back when this was initially brought before the town in 2021. Included in our packet is a letter of support from Joyce Hurd as well as the petition.
Do we know what that survey
The
said?
survey said that the average speed was between, I don't remember the numbers, both directions were between 25 and 30. An important consideration during this is if you don't have crashes and if you you should not set a speed limit lower than the average speed, more than 5 miles an hour, lower than the average speed. So that way you're not making violations out of people that are using it without causing crashes. In this case, you could go to 25 without doing that. So it seems kind of backwards or counterintuitive, but the survey would support it. Is there anyone in the audience that has a comment or a question? If you just tap the little hand, or it looks like Zoe.
Oh, sorry, I was just gonna say 25 is really slow, and I can tell you that I live up here on Meckawee and the speed limit is 35. And I never do 35. I mean, I really just go with the road conditions, and I know that there's always gonna be a few here and there, but 25 seems excessively slow.
there's a hand.
I can't read the name, but
Just someone with them.
yeah, you. This raising white sweater, white watch. If you unmute yourself.
We can't hear you.
You're muted.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
I live on Sugar Hill and drive down Happy Valley all the time. I think one of the main issues that we're experiencing is there are many blind spots on that road and many single lane areas, and people do go very fast. And a lot of us walk on that road, and I've almost gotten hit twice on Sugar Hill Road, but I think it's important to try and reduce that speed limit because of the specifics of that particular road.
And I didn't catch your name when you introduced, you were still.
Oh, sorry, Wendy Miller.
Anyone else?
This is Mary Young. I'd like to speak.
Please.
Hi, I live on Butternut Lane in Taftsville, which is perpendicular to Happy Valley Road, and just want to support the motion to lower the speed limit. There are so many people walking on the street, walking on Happy Valley as it turns into dirt road, and on Sugar Hill. Dogs, children, it's a very active community walking area. And I can tell you from personal experience that there's been a lot of cars that are going much faster than 35, never mind faster than 25. So I just want to support the motion.
Hello, can I speak too?
I don't know who that is.
My name is Michael Pact. I live on Happy Valley Road, number 72. And I support what Mary and Wendy have just said. There are a number of, as you probably all know, Happy Valley Road is a very convenient cutoff to get to avoid Route 4 to get into the village. And unfortunately, a lot of people take advantage of that. Not unfortunately, but unfortunately, when they do take advantage of it, they seem to accelerate their speed beyond a logical speed for a small community like ours. Frankly, they speed at unsafe speeds, especially we have children on this road and people of sufficient age walking just for exercise and entertainment. So thank you for hearing me.
Yeah, I'd be. Yeah. There's a hand up in the.
Yeah, this is Michael Stoner. I live on Happy Valley Road, right halfway between Heartland Hill and Taftsville. And I can tell you that people drive by our house at really high rates of speed, both particularly out-of-towners. So we have a lot of traffic on this road from people from out of town, and they're going really fast. And again, as Wendy and Michael have mentioned, there are people who walk on this road. There's an increasing number of people who bicycle in this road. And there are blind spots on the road, and that makes it very hard to see. And there are places where the road is fairly narrow, so people tend to drive a little bit closer to the center of the road. And I've had some fairly close calls myself. So I support the lowered speed limit.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anyone else on the audience?
I just have
Susan?
a question.
Yeah, please.
Sorry. It sounds, I mean, I'm sympathetic to what everyone's saying. It sounds like there's an enforcement issue. So will lowering it to 25 solve the problem? Or are you still gonna have people going the same speed they are now?
I mean,
You're talking about Tasco?
yes.
Okay, I'm from Tasco.
Oh, great.
Yes. Hopefully, yes, there will be.
Okay. Can I get your name, please?
Yeah, Barbara Berry.
I think. Yes, I think I had your something with your name on it in here.
Yes, sure. Email.
Yep, email, yep.
Well, I think if Two Rivers
Yeah,
recommends it, I say we approve it.
okay,
I would second that.
I can't speak for Chief Blish.
Okay.
I consulted with him twice.
Yep.
About this, and he has told me he supports it also.
okay, thank you. So we have a motion from Ray, second by Carrie, in favor of a speed change on Happy Valley Road from 35 to 25 miles per hour. Motion's been made and seconded. So is there any discussion left among the board? All right, seeing none, I'll call for a vote. Please, all in favor, say aye.
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 All right, motion carries 4-0. If there's and 1 absent. So the process from here is it has to be warned. There's a 45-day opportunity for I guess call it a grievance. If there's no grievance in that 45 days after 60 days from the original date of the warning, it becomes in effect. Yeah, but you can give them the good news. right.
Thank you to the select board. This is Mary Young again. I do have a question. Does that mean that it's possible to post? Is that part of the process, or do we have to do something different to have some postings?
For
There is a-
for the speed signs, it has to be after the 60 days.
That's what I meant, but will there be posting by the town after the 60 days?
Yes.
Thank you very much. There is one posting now at the beginning of Happy Valley Road, but there may be others and I can't recall them, but thank you.
Yep.
The
No,
only
no,
post-
that,
The only post
yeah.
in Happy Valley Road is the other end.
Yeah,
Right now,
yeah.
it's 30 minutes, it's 35.
yeah, that'll be done after the 60 days after the warning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. I did have to back up on July 4th. There is an item in here that I skipped over. There's a building use request is from Joni Kennedy. I just had it in my packet and now I'm gonna flip.
This is for the Castle.
Yes, yeah, I got it here. Yeah. It's for town of Woodstock. Use the Woodstock High School, middle school grounds, et cetera, for music, food, games, fireworks. There's a list that will be provided to Paul Woodman at the school, and they'll have it set up for us, and we can put it out that day. So I think we're just looking for a vote to approve or should this not go to the school
This
board?
should go on the school board, not us.
Yeah. I'd be happy to entertain a preliminary vote. And I'll email Joni and get it before the school board also. If
I'll
they,
make a motion to approve this pending approval by the school board.
okay. All right, motion by Ray, second by Susan to do a preliminary ahead of the school board, we will send this to ahead of also. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Motion carries 4 with 1 absent. Thank you for that. So we're off down to ambulance write-offs.
Can you just explain how you go about collecting the?
Yep. So, first, we follow up with insurance or the hospital to make sure they are covered, either totally or partially, and once we figure out which way they are. Some specific ones like Medicare, Medicaid, we can't bill patients, so it's an automatic write-off. But private insurance, they'll pay a percentage when it's on to the person who was the patient to pay the remainder. And if they either ignore us or say they're not gonna, or say they're gonna set up a payment plan, we follow through. We send them multiple letters, phone calls, try to track them down. If the payment plan, they take that and pay monthly or whatever they choose to do. And in some places, sometimes we get no information at all. We always follow up with the receiving hospital to share information, which they're very good about. They have the same problem we do. People give us wrong social securities or, just ignore us, and it is what it is. We just can't go to their house and knock on the door and take their wallet.
And how does this number compare to prior years?
It's up a little bit, not much, maybe $5,000, if I remember right, roughly.
I'll make a motion to approve the write-offs.
Second.
Motion by Ray, second by Susan to approve the ambulance write-offs. Any discussion among the board? All right, seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? No. Motion carries 4-0 with 1 absent. Is there any other business to come before the board tonight? I have nothing else. Seems no one else has anything else. We have 2 set of minutes, the joint and from June 3rd and our regular meeting on June 7th. Everything seemed in order to me, but did anyone have any issues with anything that they noticed?
I'd make a motion, we approve both minutes.
Motion by Susan to approve both minutes.
A second.
Motion by Susan, second by Carrie. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That motion carries. Adjournment. Is there would call for a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Okay,
Second.
and all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone. And have a nice evening.
Thank you.
That was great.
Whew.